The government's liberalisation of Islamic finance has helped the country to become a leading hub for the halal sector and Sharia-compliant banking.
As at December last year, Malaysia reaffirmed its position as the leading global halal hub with an annual export value of 43 billion ringgit for halal products.
Well, for us in Maybank Islamic in Malaysia, particularly in this region, Malaysia is our key focus is to sustain our leadership, maintain our growth and our profitability businesses here.
As we move forward, it's important also for us to understand where our roots are and what because that will to us, is an indication of what the kind of expectation, that resting on our shoulders and in terms of the aspirations of the country.
Islamic banking can be defined as a banking system that is based on the principles of Islamic law, also known as Sharia and guided by Islamic economics. In Malaysia, the first Islamic finance was established through the Tabung Haji Board in year 1693 to help the Muslim community make a saving to do the Hajj. The development and success of Tabung Haji has been an impetus for Malaysia to expand the Islamic banking systems to establishing more Islamic banks in Malaysia. The establishment of first Islamic banking in Malaysia has received approval from Cabinet around year 1983, known as Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad. In its economic activities and transactions, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad has implemented Islamic Sharia concepts such as Al-Wadiyah, Guarantee, Al-Mudarabah, Profit Sharing, Baybit Tamal Ajil, Sales with Deferred Price, Al-Ijara and Al-Musyarakah, Profit and Loss Sharing. Due to the success of Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, Islamic banking in Malaysia grew until more Islamic financial institutions such as Bank MUHAMAD were created in 1999. According to Bank Negara Malaysia Berhad (BNW), there are around 16 lists of Islamic banks in Malaysia, such as Affin Islamic Bank Berhad, Al-Raj Banking and Investment Corporation Malaysia, Alliance Islamic Bank Berhad, Islamic Bank Berhad, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, Bank MUHAMAD Malaysia Berhad, SYAHMIMI Islamic Bank Berhad, Hong Leong Islamic Bank Berhad, HSBC Amanah Malaysia Berhad, Kuwait Finance House Malaysia Berhad, My Bank Islamic Berhad, MBSB Bank Berhad, OCBC Al-Amin Bank Berhad, Public Islamic Bank Berhad, RHB Islamic Bank Berhad, and the last one is Standard Chartered Sadiq Berhad.
According to Bank Negara Malaysia, in November year 2021, Islamic banks had the second largest of assets, which is 947,077.7 million ringgit Malaysia among all banks in Malaysia, which are the Islamic banks, commercial banks and investment banks. Furthermore, the total of Islamic banks asset has increased since August until now. The comparison of Islamic and conventional banking. There are many aspects that we can compare between Islamic banking and conventional banking. First, wealth ownership. In Islam, it is believed that Muslims believe everything in this world is belong to Allah, not to us. While in conventional financial, they believe that all wealth is owned by their woman or property owner. It can be concluded that their values and practice are influenced by their worldview. Next, basic prohibitions. As a Muslim, we are obligated to follow rules and to avoid any prohibitions in Islam. In comparison, in conventional banking, they are not required to follow their religion's law, so they have no rules to be followed, and non-Muslim also have their own main goal, which is they want to maximize their profits.
Although Islamic banking was formed about 30 years ago, it has yet to reach its full potential. It is owing to the community's negative perception of the Islamic banking system, and they are unaware of the consequence of practicing Islamic banking. The first perception is the community thinks that Islamic banking and conventional are the same. Due to the lack of understanding and education in the world of finance, the community continues to mix up the concept of Islamic and conventional banks. Although the product and services offered by these two financial institutions are identical, the concept and methods of handling them are not. The committee can see the difference between these banks based on their core characteristic, government and operation characteristic, and product characteristic. The second perfection is the committee think that Islamic banking involved with riba. Due to the greatest fees than normal banks, the committee believes that Islamic banking is the drawback of riba. Islamic banking is riba-free, and all products such as Gharar, Zoom, Ikhtiar, and Maisir are based on the Sharia principle to prevent riba. There is a government policy and initiative to address the issues, which is liberalization financial policy on Islamic banking. The liberalization is a reform aimed at inviting more international investors to invest in domestic shares in the country by removing various restrictions on equity participation. The effectiveness of liberalization financial policy on Islamic banking. Islamic banks in Malaysia has been practicing financial liberalization in stage for the past 30 years. This policy has improved Islamic banking since it allows international investors to put their money in Islamic banking in our country without facing any difficulties. It also brings a variety of participation in Malaysia Islamic banking institution.
The Islamic perspective of the development of Islamic banking in Malaysia. In Islam, Muslims are obligated to follow the rules and principles of Islam, including the economic and financial activities. Muslims also have to avoid the prohibition in Islam such as riba. In Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 275, Allah said that those who eat riba will not stand on the day of resurrection except as a person who has been beaten by shaitan, leading to insanity. That is because they claim that trading is only like riba, despite the fact that Allah has permitted trading while preventing riba. So, whoever receives an admonition from his Lord and refrains from eating riba will not be punished for the past. This case is for Allah to judge. But whoever returns to riba, such as the dwellers of the fire, they will abide therein. So, it can be concluded that in the activities of financial, we should avoid riba in our transaction so that we can get the pleasure of Allah.